Welcome back to Heart of the Guardians, the place where stories come alive. Stories that remind us that kindness, pain, and love are still what make us human. If you're new here, don't forget to stay till the end, because today's story will stay with you long after it's over. Let's begin. It was a rainy Tuesday morning. The kind that made everything look grey. The streets, the sky, even people's moods. Daniel Parker, a 36-year-old single dad, sat in his old pickup truck outside a small diner on the edge of town. His 6-year-old daughter, Lily, was in the back seat, swinging her legs and humming to herself. "Daddy, are we getting pancakes?" she asked, her big brown eyes full of hope. Daniel smiled softly. "Yeah, sweetheart, pancakes, just like you wanted." They'd been coming to this diner every Sunday for months now, but lately, Daniel had been taking more early shifts at the auto shop and more late nights fixing engines just to make ends meet. He wasn't supposed to be working this morning, but he had taken Lily out because she missed the pancake mornings. He parked, helped her out of the truck, and they ran through the drizzle into the diner. Inside, the smell of coffee and maple syrup filled the air. The place was warm, but not in the cozy sense, more like the kind of warmth that came from familiarity. A waitress approached their table. She looked young, maybe mid-20s, with tired blue eyes and a face that would have been beautiful if it weren't weighed down by exhaustion. Her hair was tied up messily, and though her uniform was clean, it looked worn. "Morning," she said quietly, voice low but polite. "What can I get you?" Daniel looked up at her and smiled. "Hi, just some pancakes for the little one, and a coffee for me, please." The waitress nodded and walked away without another word. Lily watched her curiously. "Daddy, she doesn't smile," she whispered. "Why not?" Daniel chuckled softly. "Maybe she's just tired, sweetheart." But even as he said it, something about the waitress's face stayed with him. That hollow look, as if smiling had become a forgotten language. When she came back with their order, Lily tried to make conversation. "These are my favorite," she chirped, pointing at her pancakes shaped like hearts. "Did you make them?" The waitress hesitated, then nodded faintly. "Yeah, glad you like them." Still, no smile. Lily looked disappointed but didn't push it. She focused on eating, while Daniel watched the young woman walk away again. Something in her steps seemed heavy, as if every move took effort. Later, when she returned with the check, Daniel couldn't help himself. "Hey," he said gently, "I hope you don't mind me asking, but you never smile." "Not once. Is everything okay?" The waitress froze. Her hand trembled slightly as she placed the receipt on the table. For a moment, she didn't answer. Then she took a deep breath and whispered, "I used to. But life kind of took that away." Daniel immediately regretted asking. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to." But she shook her head. "It's fine," she murmured, and walked off. They left the diner soon after, but her words stuck in Daniel's mind for days. He was a man who understood loss. His wife, Emily, had passed away 3 years ago from cancer. He had watched the woman he loved fade away while trying to stay strong for the daughter. He knew what it meant when life took something from you, something you couldn't get back. So that weekend, he and Lily went back to the diner. And again the next weekend. Each time, the same waitress served them. Her name tag said Anna. She remained quiet, polite, but never smiled. Daniel started leaving small notes on the receipts. Just a few kind words. "Hope your day gets better. Thanks for always taking care of us. Your pancakes make my daughter happy." He didn't expect her to respond. But one day, when he paid the bill, there was a small note written back on the check. "Thank you. You and your daughter are the only ones who notice me." Over the weeks, their conversations grew longer. "Long day?" Daniel would ask. She'd shrug. "Always. You ever take a break?" She'd give a tired half smile. "Breaks don't pay bills." He learned that she worked 2 jobs. Mornings at the diner, evenings cleaning offices. She lived in a tiny apartment with her younger brother, who had been sick since their parents died. She had no time for herself. No time for joy. Daniel often found himself wanting to help, but he didn't know how to offer without making her feel pitied. So he just kept showing up. Sometimes, Lily would draw little pictures for her, stick figures with huge smiles. "This is you," she'd say proudly. Anna would look at them quietly, her eyes softening. "Thank you, Lily. That's really sweet." But still, the smile never came. One night, Daniel was driving home with Lily asleep in the backseat when his phone buzzed. It was a message from an unknown number. "This is Anna. I hope it's okay that I texted. I found your number on the receipt." Daniel blinked, surprised. He replied, "Of course. Are you okay?" Her response came after a long pause. "I just wanted to say thank you for asking about me that day. Nobody's asked in a long time." Daniel typed, "You don't have to thank me for caring, Anna. You deserve to be seen." There was no reply for a while, but when it came, it was short and heartbreaking. "I don't think I do. The next morning, Daniel couldn't shake the heaviness in his chest. He dropped Lily off at school and drove straight to the diner. But Anna wasn't there. He asked the manager, "Hey, where's Anna today?" The man sighed. "She called in sick. Said she might not be back for a while." Daniel felt a pang of worry. He thought about calling her, but didn't want to intrude. Days passed, then a week, then two. No word, until one evening, when he got another text. "Sorry I disappeared. My brother passed away. I just needed time." Daniel's fingers hovered over the keyboard. What could he possibly say to that? Finally, he wrote, "I'm so sorry, Anna. If you need anything, even someone to talk to, I'm here." She didn't respond for 2 days. Then, "You don't have to do that. You already have enough on your plate." He replied, "Sometimes helping someone else is what keeps us going. Trust me, I know." This time, she answered, "You lost someone too, didn't you?" He took a deep breath and typed, "My wife. 3 years ago." After that, they began talking often. Late night messages about life, pain, the small things that still made it bearable. Sometimes she'd text him after her shift. "The pancakes burned today." He'd joke back, "Guess I'll have to come fix that tomorrow." Slowly, Daniel started noticing small changes. When she came back to work, there was a softness to her, a quiet strength. And one morning, as he and Lily sat in the usual booth, Anna came over, and for the first time, she smiled. It wasn't wide or bright. It was small, fragile, but it was real. Lily gasped, "Daddy." She smiled. Anna laughed quietly. And there it was again. A sound that felt like sunlight after a storm. Daniel looked at her, eyes warm. "There it is," he said softly. "I knew it was in there somewhere." She blushed. "Don't get used to it." But over time, they did. Months passed. The diner became more than a place to eat. It became their refuge. Daniel and Anna grew closer, not through grand gestures, but through small moments. A shared coffee before sunrise. A text that said, "Drive safe." Lily's laughter filling the air whenever Anna joined them. One evening, as the sun set behind the hills, Daniel walked Anna to her car after her shift. "Do you ever think about starting over?" he asked. She looked at him, unsure. "Starting over? Yeah," he said quietly. "Like, maybe life doesn't have to be about what we lost. Maybe it can be about what we find." She stared at him for a long moment before whispering, "You really think that's possible?" He smiled. "I do." For the first time, she didn't look away. "Maybe I'd like to believe that too." A year later, the three of them were sitting in the same booth, but everything felt different. Anna had a light in her eyes now. She had gone back to school part-time, studying to become a nurse. Lily, now 7, adored her and called her Miss Anna, though sometimes she slipped and said, "Mom." Daniel didn't correct her anymore. When the waitress from another table came over, Anna joked, "Don't worry, I'll handle them. They're my family." And in that moment, Daniel realized that he wasn't just a single dad anymore. He had found something he never thought he'd have again: peace. Later that night, as they closed the diner and stepped outside, Anna turned to Daniel. "Do you remember the first thing you asked me?" she said softly. He smiled. "Yeah, I asked why you never smiled." She nodded. "And my answer broke you, didn't it?" He looked at her, eyes full of warmth. "Yeah, but your smile, it fixed me." She smiled again, brighter this time, not the fragile smile from before, but one full of life, love, and hope. And as rain began to fall once more, just like that first day, Daniel reached for her hand. Lily ran ahead, laughing in the puddles, and Anna leaned her head against his shoulder. Sometimes, life breaks us. But sometimes, it brings broken people together, so they can help each other heal.